Good evening, everyone. Or good day, good afternoon, good supper time, 11sies, whatever. Whenever you're listening to this, happy day to you. You know what day it is. You know what time. It's time for Hard Talks with a Blonde and a Hippie. I'm your trippy hippie, Alicia, jumping on the mic from not good old Utah today, you guys. Hard Talks has hit the road, and we are currently in Crouch, Idaho, Garden Valley, Idaho to be exact. And if you listen to the last episode, I totally got that wrong. Not Green Valley, Garden Valley. I was on some heavy antibiotics, friends. But anyways, Sarah, Sarah, I sound the same. Sarah's not with us. She had a beautiful 4th of July with her husband and her mother-in-law. So today I'm joined with my sister. What's your name?
Rachel.
Hi, Rachel. And my kick-ass cousin, Andy.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good.
How's your trip been so far?
It's been eventful, to say the least.
You got for me.
Yeah, and Elliot's in the back.
It's been
he
fun
is
to hang
coloring.
out with Elliot. Sorry to talk over you.
Oh, no, you're fine.
Post.
So, you made me an awesome drink. Tell me what this is.
It's a White Russian in honor of our country's birthday.
White Russian.
Which was influenced heavily by... Well, not the birthday wasn't influenced heavily. We won't get into politics, but...
Yeah, not today.
There was some Russian activity a couple years ago in the U.S. presidential election. So I thought I'd have some White Russians to celebrate.
Cheers. It tastes
I'm not
good.
over Trump, no.
So is Kahlua?
I mean, I am over him. Don't get me wrong. But up here in Crouch, Idaho, they sure aren't. I'll tell you that much.
No, they're not. We've been looking at a bunch of Biden is stupid, like,
Oh, yeah.
stickers on the backs of trucks. And
Which is sad, because, I mean, it's one thing to be really enthusiastic about your guy. You love Trump. Be positive. But now you got to go negative? And it's the same font, the same style of flag. It's like, come on, be creative.
Be creative.
Be creative.
Anyway.
Yeah.
It's been fun up here, though. Not to trash. Sorry to trash the local people of Crouch, Idaho.
No, but it has been eventful. Bananas.
We probably shouldn't get into all the events.
Yeah, I mean, we could leave some details out, but...
We did go water rafting today.
And I did not get fucked up today.
No?
I just got really burnt. No.
Oh, we got burnt 2 days ago.
Yeah.
I thought I had a pretty good base tan going to begin with. So.
But when you take off your shirt, it looks like you're still wearing a white t-shirt.
That's the key.
Well, and
to not getting burned.
And it's so funny because I told you that yesterday, and you're like, "Do you like all the chest hair? I'm a silver front instead of silver back."
Because your dad kept saying how he's a silverback.
Yeah.
Mr. Tomley a party.
He doesn't
And then
even
I
have
said
hair
I'm
on
a
his
silver
back.
front because my chest hair is all gray.
Yeah, I think he
white.
says he's a silverback because his hair is graying. But it doesn't quite make sense to me either.
It's like it's kind of like a term for an older, good-looking gentleman. I
Is
think.
it like a cougar?
It's
but for a man?
It's the male version of cougar, I believe. I could be wrong. I wish he could join us. Discuss this,
he's
but-
currently passed out under a tree.
He's
So
enjoying the river.
good on him.
Let's talk about our campsite, Alicia.
Yeah. So
I don't know if you went over this in the last episode.
I did, and I hacked it because I got the name wrong and the name of the river wrong, and so we're
It's worth going over again because it is so extraordinary.
So we're right off of the Payette River, right?
This is currently we are on the south fork of the Payette River.
Payette River.
Payette.
We are in.
There's 3 forks that all converge here.
Do you know what they are?
The middle fork, the south fork, and the north fork
Okay.
of the Payette. It's all the same river name, but different forks of the river.
Different, yeah. So what did we raft today?
We were on the bottom half. Well, it's
the middle fork.
Well, no, it all comes together. So the 3 forks come together
Okay.
to join the Payette. So we were in the Payette. Like
But yeah,
no
but we
fork.
were in the middle fork because that's the middle. The
Okay.
north end and the south end move together to make one. Middle fork.
Yesterday.
Rachel could be right. Yeah.
So it is beautiful. On top of being right next to the Payette River, We are right off of an airstrip. Our father is a private pilot, and he co-owns a Cessna, like I was telling you guys about in the last episode with my Uncle Dave, Andy's dad. And yeah, it's beautiful because we have our tent set up right here, a little pavilion that we really monopolized. It was a good thing nobody else was here. There was a creepy, weird guy. There was a weird... You were like, nah, he's not weird. And I was like, no, he's giving me weird vibes. But anyways, and then there's the landing strip with all these parked airplanes. So it really is something to see. I will definitely post pictures.
And it's a beautiful, flat, manicured
green,
grass.
Grassy.
And shout out to Annie. Annie, Camp Host, awesome lady.
She works for the Idaho Aviation Association.
Yeah. Andy, I must say this White Russian.
Yeah.
What do you mix it with? How do you make this?
I bought it from the store. It was
Oh,
already
okay.
mixed.
So it's a pre-mixed.
Yeah, it was very.
What'd
it was
you call
an
it?
impulsive buy. is what it was.
Kahlua?
It's Kahlua and vodka, I think.
Okay. It's very good. It tastes like chocolate milk. It really does.
Even though it's 103 degrees out.
Hippie approved. But it's on a lot of ice. And I really appreciate how you gave me the most giant chunk of ice ever.
And we have the only 2 bags of ice left in to Boise, I heard.
So the celebrations around 4th of July here in Crouch, Idaho are pretty spectacular. Everyone takes them pretty damn seriously, if you know what I'm saying. And, it was as I remembered it last night. Republicans haven. People were running around the, except they moved it.
Do you want to describe this scene last night? Or do you want to finish with the, well, I guess we described the campground.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's a beautiful river that runs the South Fork River.
Yeah.
We can jump right into that. But, so, what was yesterday like, the fireworks?
So, like I was saying on the last episode, it used to be on the main street, which consists of, one stoplight and a few shops, a market.
No stoplights.
No stoplight. So it's tiny.
Shops, yeah.
It's tiny. But I suppose due to the fire...
gas pump. There was a gas pump.
And a gas... There is a gas pump. I talked about that. They shut off the gas and the power in the previous years that we've been here. But due to fire danger and safety and probably regulation, they moved it to the rodeo site. And it was cool. Like, I took a lot of videos. I will post them to our Instagram at Hard Talks with B&H. But just as I remembered it, like, people running around with American flags and don't tread on me flags and shooting fireworks at each other. And then the commentator comes on overhead and he's like, hey, only 20 minutes left. And, like, all of a sudden there's a surge of all these people just out there. And it's like, how has nobody, blown off a finger? Like, I did, out of the thousands and thousands of dollars worth of fireworks that I saw there last night, I did see a few duds, or, a few that, went off, in someone's hand almost, or, really close to their foot. But how nobody got hurt is astonishing to me.
People have been hurt.
Because everybody
shut it down the last time.
Yeah, everybody
on
is
Main
shit
Street.
faced.
Yeah, his hand flew off.
I
feel
remember
like
that.
it was less people, maybe they're still shit faced, but I frankly walked away. I would hate to be a party pooper because I couldn't take the smoke.
I lost you. Yeah, I mean, it was so
I literally
crazy.
couldn't breathe. And there was this one stream where it was just blowing right onto the road.
Yeah.
But
We parked up a way, and it was kind of cool because one side of the street was the city fireworks that were crazy awesome, and then across the street was the rodeo, and so it was all
we didn't know which one was which at first. The fireworks that people buy and were blown up were pretty impressive.
They were they were the huge ones. The one that are definitely illegal in the state of Utah, unless you're into pyrotechnics and actually setting up a professional show. But I wasn't in Utah, so I don't even know if they had fireworks shows. Really,
I don't know.
I doubt it.
There was a few, but they were bad.
Low key.
It wasn't as great as
No.
the big city.
No.
Yeah.
Which I don't get. Like, I guess they don't have the same drought that we're suffering in Utah. It is a little greener. I will give them that.
It is, and you know
It's
what I
still
was
hot as hell,
saying
but-
when we were driving in, because like it's a 6.5 hour drive from here, in Crouch, from my place in Ogden. Okay, so yeah, it's a hot skip and a step, but the first 5 hours, really pretty, but kind of like Nebraska, very flat and just a whole lot of nothing.
Yeah.
Whole lot of nothing. Like
Rolling hills. It's kind of
and then there's mountains in the distance, but nothing like to the altitude or magnitude of Utah's mountains. But my sister rode down with me, and we pulled off at this gas station, and apparently I wasn't pumping my gas fast enough because a good old boy, an Idahoan,
See, I haven't heard this one.
rolls up. This was on the way here.
I know I got a text alluding to something, how the Idahoans are not happy with you.
They
but
were not.
I never got the story.
It's because I think I was taking a selfie to be so real, and I was done pumping my gas. Yes?
I want to play with you.
Do you want to
Go wake up Papa Tom
pack
over there.
this suitcase for me again?
No, I want to do this with you.
You are, right now.
But there's no more.
Yeah, it's because I can hear you still. Can you draw
Go
my
wake
name?
up Papa Tom.
Oh yeah, Papa Tom needs to be on the show.
Go get him.
Say, Papa, I want to
kid.
That'll
record
help
with
us.
you. Forget that, but it doesn't matter what Elliot is wearing. He's always got saggy pants, and he's always got a plumber crack.
Need the belt.
Do you need some water, love? Yeah, but anyways, so this Idaho guy pulls up, and I have my windows down, taking a selfie with the three of us, and he's like, "Excuse me, would you mind pulling forward?" And I didn't even say anything, but as I'm pulling away, Rachel's like, "Yeah, you fucking asshole," and I'm just like, "Oh my god."
I was grouchy.
You say, "Wow, Rachel."
Yeah,
I honestly think I said suck my dick, but obviously I don't have a dick.
yeah, but he probably thought us city girls.
Yeah.
He
Suck
didn't-
my
he
dick,
didn't pull out a
bitch.
gun on you, did he?
No, that was
Or
the
his-
extent of
or
it. But
his-
we pulled
No,
down
they
the
just
street.
didn't really look you.
We pulled
You
down
did
the
say
street
something.
because it was
No.
very
Good.
run down. Like a lot of. There's only a few
What town
buildings
were
there.
you in?
Bliss.
No, that was not Bliss.
I don't remember what it was called.
Somewhere in the middle of nowhere, Idaho.
It was like
Off
butt
I-84.
fuck nowhere. Yeah. Oh yeah. Hey guys. Hey. Disclaimer: 18 in that podcast. I
Mommy.
curse like a sailor. Don't want to be responsible for your children saying "fuck" or "goddamn." So slide in on your own time. Sorry, I almost forgot that. Anyway,
So you have to do that every podcast.
I do do that. Yeah.
Does Apple iTunes make you do that?
No, I actually got the idea.
Or podcasts? Whatever, Apple
Yeah, do
Podcasts.
it. I actually got the idea from Small Town Murder because they put a disclaimer in the beginning.
Really?
Yes, and I thought that was very smart. I
Are they
gave
out of
him.
Utah?
I gave him no. I gave him. I think Arizona. I gave him a shout out on the last episode too because there's some of
I'll
my
have
favorite
to
dudes.
ask my wife. She's a big murder podcast fan.
Yeah, they're
Crime,
a
true
comedy podcast, so it's
so
all
funny
true
about crime.
true crimes, but they're making jokes at the expense of
Oh,
the
they are?
murders or
So it's a little different take.
yes.
A little
So
dark humor.
yeah, so that's mostly why they have the disclaimer in the beginning too, because it's like if
Oh,
you don't
interesting.
like our humor, then you don't have to listen. We're comedians.
She probably, my wife doesn't like humor, so she won't. be
Yeah,
tuning
here
into
here
that.
not to
Brooke.
joke at the expense of the victims, pretty much, but here to laugh about the stupidity of like stupid police forces because it's small towns, small towns like this. And so that was kind of the point of me stopping. I pulled away from this gas station and I'm literally looking at the few buildings that are there, and most of them are boarded up, and it's just run down. And I'm like, what kind of people? No offense to you guys that live there. I'm sure you will happy and
do you have
prosperous
listeners
lives.
there?
I don't, but I
You
just
should look
couldn't.
up your Idaho listeners.
I
How
just-
many you have?
Oh, I have some, especially in Boise anyways, Twin Falls. But
We did go through Twin Falls.
we did too. Dad said we did it. But I was just like, what do you do to live here? Like, I said the same thing to you. I was like, why would you come to a place like this if you weren't born or raised or had some kind of family connection or tie to be here? You know what I mean?
In Bliss. Not necessarily here. Or
Anywhere. Even like such a
here
small
you would
town
go
like this.
kayaking and then live somewhere else the other time. The other part of the year.
What do you do in the winter?
Go live in Salt Lake.
What do you do for
You
work?
hibernate. You shovel snow.
You let interest gather accrue on your millions of dollars.
Or
and
you
live
could just
with
save up,
independent wealth,
work super hard, save your money, and then, you can live in Utah without a job for the winter. Boom. But why
I
would you
think
wanna
the people
live
that
in
live
Utah?
here during the whole year are like you said, born and raised, or retired, or what they do, like lumber's big here. Annie is the airport manager here. Whitewater
live here? Rafting
river
is huge.
raft guiding is huge. Yeah.
Well, and I know a lot of younger
And a lot of people
kids
probably
come down
commute
here.
because it's only 45 minutes from Boise.
That's true.
The winter, I heard, can get a little gnarly up here.
Yeah, I could imagine that. I could imagine it being cold.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't
There's
know.
some small time construction people.
I always want to see people's perspective though. Like what drew you in about this place? Like it's so quiet. Some people couldn't handle this level of solitude, if you know what I'm saying.
Maybe that's the reason they come. They're weird like that.
Well,
I personally like big cities, but
Like
I
from
can
Chicago.
appreciate this here too.
Well, yes, of course.
But
it's
I couldn't
beautiful.
live here all the time. I don't think.
I don't. Yeah, I mean, having maybe a cabin up here would be really cool. But I just think of that horror movie, The Strangers, just being in the middle of nowhere and being murdered. It's creepy sometimes. To
That
be
show was
alone.
gnarly.
Yeah, it's based off a true story.
Oh my god.
Great.
You're
I
welcome.
already have enough anxiety sleeping in a tent. Now I'm gonna have more.
I thought that guy was gonna murder us. I don't know why.
You guys.
No, I've gone my whole
Just 'cause
life.
he looked like the.
He did look like a
old-
pedophile. I'm
I
not
was
gonna
say
lie.
old bishop.
No,
But
he
bishops
gave me a
are
weird, creepy
pedophiles.
vibe thing. It wasn't. Yeah.
I didn't say that. I just said he looked like a Mormon bishop.
And he stole
Well,
my
From Brigham,
chargers.
which
Who
he
else
was from
would?
Brigham. No one stole your chargers.
Yes.
Let's move on to another topic.
Yes. So, Andy,
I should be hosting this show, I feel like.
you
sometimes.
Right.
are.
I'm a diehard listener, and sometimes I'm just like,
Here's
go,
your new
girl.
co-host.
My tangents. Yeah, come do another episode with me.
You're
while
gonna
Sarah's
have
on
to
maternity
travel
leave.
up to
Bring
Salt Lake.
yeah, you gotta
actually,
bring it down to Salt
Bring
Lake.
Brookie down.
Maybe she can talk.
no, that's up. You're up.
Hey,
Salt Lake's
that's one
down.
of my new
Rookie
favorite
will be
jokes.
down there, so when you come,
Yeah,
down,
you
she'll be
come
there.
down. Cause you're the only one that lives really far away.
So Andy and our family have actually a really, really, really cool history.
Going there?
Yeah, why not? Do we have to?
I mean, you might as well.
Andy is one of my
Is
favorite
this the only
cousins.
reason you asked me on the show?
No.
Oh my
We can, this will be brief. I just think it's really cool because you, out of all the cousins, are probably the cousin we're closest to now.
You're the funniest. Like, let's be real.
And we met
I'm just the
you
best.
when
Sorry
I
to all the
was.
other cousins.
How old was I?
Love You Cousins, but Andy's
12?
our favorite.
13.
We had this conversation last weekend with my sister Holly, and Lisa Leopardi was there, and Alex,
Oh,
and
you were
Brooke.
with Lisa.
Brooke remembers because it was our 14th wedding anniversary, and Brooke remembers it was 14 years ago
Where is mine?
that we met my father, David Leopardi.
Yeah, it was a.
So 26 minus 14, that's how old you were.
It was a bees game. We were at
You
a
were
baseball game. So I was 12, Rachel was 6, and we're going to get ice cream or soft pretzel with Dad. He's standing in line, and he's like, oh my gosh, it's Dave, his brother. Goes up to him, he's like, hey man, like, funny seeing you here. Can I buy you a beer? And he's like, oh yeah. Like, who you here with? It's like, oh, my son. Go, cool, where's Alex? He's like, oh, no, my other son. Dad's literally like, what? And up comes Andy and his wife, Brooke, and
Little Sophia
at the time, who's not so little anymore. And that was my first memory and first time meeting my cousin Andy. And
Really?
It's a crazy story. Because now you
So you were at the game too.
Yeah.
I forgot about
and
that.
my mom was at the game too.
I remember Shauna being there. Yeah. Yeah, that was cool. It was great. And that was like pure coincidence.
Was that the first time you
No
ever
one,
met
Dave
Uncle Dave?
didn't know Tom was going. Tom didn't know Dave was going to the game. No, we had met him before.
It was very organic. A great
Were
way
you
to meet
nervous?
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess so.
Because there were no nerves, I suppose, right?
And then there was another party where I got to meet everybody at once.
And that's a whole damn fam bam.
And you
That's why
were
we need
just,
Tom on here. Cause
you were welcomed with
he's great at
all
talking
these
about stuff like
arms
this.
and loud mouths and oh my god, Andy!
Yes,
Grandma Kay
indeed.
just loved you, though.
Aw. She was a sweet lady.
So you met before Grandpa Enrico passed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I did meet him.
Yeah.
He's a great guy as well.
So I still have people come up to me at work.
I want that too.
You want to say hi?
I
Don't grab it.
because you are going to. I want
Say how much fun you're having.
You don't have to grab it. So, just recently, probably about a month ago, this gentleman I work with or works on my floor, I don't know him very well, but he comes up to my desk and he's like, are you related to a Dr. Enrico Leopardi? This is just a couple months ago. I was like, yeah, I am. That's my grandfather. And he's like, man, he stitched my finger back on in the 80s and he was an old son of a bitch even then. And I was like, yeah, he's an old son of a bitch when I knew him too. And he's been gone for what? 9, 10 years?
Was it you passed away? 2008.
Really?
2008.
Sounds about right,
Wow.
I
Yeah.
don't remember.
Yeah. So that's just crazy that he's been gone that
This
long.
is up at the base?
Yeah.
They remembered him?
Yeah. He's been gone that long and people still remember him, which I think is a trip. Our family is really cool.
And
Very-
they've left a mark on everyone, let's just say that.
Very, very talented, unique, smart, and
Dysfunctional family.
diverse and dysfunctional group of people. That's what we
Yeah.
have. And
That's the reason I'm here.
And I love them.
Yeah, that was great to meet everybody and have a great relationship all these years with pretty much all the Leopardis. Even Mark, who a lot of people don't talk to, but
Yeah.
Uncle Mark, and he's up in Vegas.
Dancing is hard.
The one time, so here's a good story. We're here
Love
for
it.
stories, right?
Yes, I'm here for all
And
stories.
Rachel was there.
I was?
We were driving back from Oceanside.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Rachel, Tom, her dad, me, my wife, Brooke, and my daughter, Sophia, and we stopped in Las Vegas. We got in around 11 p.m., and we had called prior to reserve something at the Paris Hotel. And we get there, and the guy's like, the only rooms we have left are the presidential suites. Are you guys okay with that? Looking around like, well, how much extra is it going to be? Oh, no, nothing extra, just $100 a night like we quoted you.
Oh, wow.
For 2 presidential suites on the top floor of the Paris Hotel.
Shit.
So we took them, and they had like 4 rooms and a
They were
huge
lit.
dining room and 5 bathrooms. And
The cool
There's
TV,
2 of 'em.
the cool TV that comes up from the bed.
yeah. And so, and Mark lives in Las Vegas, Uncle Mark. So we called, this was the next day, we called Uncle Mark. I have a great story about winning a lot of money that night, but we could talk about that later. But so we call Uncle Mark because he lives in Las Vegas and he doesn't have my phone in his phone, and he sees the 801 area code, texts back and says, doesn't answer, texts back, What do you want, motherfucker? Who the fuck is this? Quit calling me.
Sounds like Mark.
And I reply back, laughing. This is your nephew, Andy. I'm here with your brother, Tom, and niece. We're here in Las Vegas. And he calls back right away. And we had a great hour-long talk.
Yeah, I think
Tom
I was
there.
at the pool.
Looking over, I remember it because we were looking over at the Trump casino. God bless having to do that. But talking to Uncle Mark, telling them to come over and check out the suites. But
I remember a group message we had with the family, and we were texting Julie's old number, and the mom texted back, and she was like, this is a new, I don't know who Julie is. This is a new number. This is my daughter's. Please stop texting. And Uncle Mark's like, oh, fuck you.
Oh, God.
you might have to edit that one out.
No, I mean, nothing gets edited on the show except for maybe long, awkward pauses, or if something really fucked up gets said. Yeah.
Great. I thought,
That's why I put my disclaimer in, because I curse so much. Like, you were listening to that last episode I was published, and I was almost, like, blushing, because I'm like, man. I even turned to you, I was like, I should probably stop swearing so much.
you should stop swearing.
It's my default, you know.
Oh, well.
I grew up in a family where Uncle Dave, his way of showing love is, fuck you, Andy. And Andy's way of showing him love is, fuck Dave. And that became a running theme. Everybody would just be like, fuck Dave.
We coined it.
We did.
Do you remember Thanksgiving when we were trying to take all their pictures and Dave was super drunk?
Do you remember that time Andy almost got shot
Oh,
at Thanksgiving?
Oh, God.
See, this is why I was afraid to come on the podcast.
Oh.
I don't want all my skeletons released right
I
at
don't
once.
think that's a skeleton. That was scary. I don't have to share that story. It was
scary.
It was
and
just
wasn't
crazy.
My fault,
no, and
necessarily.
I wasn't gonna put that on you. It was just crazy how fast it happened. So, do you mind if I share?
Fine.
Okay. I
You're playing with bubbles.
you know, like I've
You were
said,
earlier.
you know,
Sorry.
Thanksgiving, my Aunt Helen, who is a goddamn saint. If you've ever seen Sound of Music, she is quite literally the real life version of Maria. Could you see that?
Yeah.
Yep.
I just envision anyways, so Helen is a sweetheart, and she used to host Thanksgiving most years up in Zion National Park where she lives with her husband. And that was one of the best times of the year because the whole family got together. You know, all the cousins came to town because mostly everybody lives out of state now. So it's pretty far and in between when we all get together now, especially since grandparents have passed. But it was a day of celebration. We start cooking, what, at 10 o'clock? Whoa, bless you, Elliot. Oh, excuse you. Start cooking really early. And we also do this thing every year, meatball challenge. So everybody makes like a meatball challenge entry, and it's a whole shebang. There's a trophy and everything.
Rachel's won it a few times.
What?
The
The
meatball, challenge.
Oh, heck yeah, all but one.
Talk
So
about
5 years.
No,
talk
it's
about the
like
meatball
7
challenge?
years now.
Well, yeah. So we'll
Can
get
I
it.
derail your story
Well,
and just talk more about Rachel's meatball challenge?
Yeah, we can get into that.
Prolificity?
But it was just crazy because, you know, we're all drinking and everyone was having a good day, mixing scotch, whiskey, wine, whatever. So by the time it's 11 o'clock, you know, we're all pretty low there, just hanging about.
Well, Trump had just been elected. Did you include all that kind of context?
I didn't.
into-
I wasn't going to necessarily, unless you wanted me to.
Well, I don't know what you were.
So you got into a political
Where you were
debate,
going, yeah.
drunken political debate with
I don't know. Yeah.
fellow in-law,
Thanksgiving.
not related to us, but an in-law to another. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Mommy.
And it just broke out so happened where he shoved you over a chair. What?
Everyone be quiet.
Hold on. He shoved you over a chair, and then my ex-husband pulled you outside, and, you know, we thought the situation was just de-escalated pretty quickly. And all of a sudden, Kevin comes running in the back because so-and-so was up front loading a 9mm, and then comes waltzing out into the backyard with a loaded fucking 9mm, ready to shoot your ass over a fucking political debate.
God bless America.
God, America. God damn
bless.
it. And it was crazy too because we had left by that point. I think everyone.
No,
was,
you guys were there. I think.
I remember hearing about the gun. I didn't see the gun happen.
I was in bed, so you were probably in bed too.
Yeah, because we saw the initial fight, but for some reason I think we got pulled out and left. I don't know. But the next morning when we pulled up for breakfast, because we were at the Rockville house, came back, and there was a fucking 9mm bullet sitting in the gutter where he cocked it to reload. And I brought that into my dad because I was like, holy shit, this is fucking huge. What was so-and-so fucking thinking? Really? At Thanksgiving? Really? Really? It was mind-boggling to me to actually see it. And I think he gifted you that bullet. Am I right?
Oh, I have it, yeah.
What a trip.
I should check it out. Yeah, politics are a crazy thing.
Yeah.
Especially back then, 2016.
So, as a hairdresser, there's this rule of thumb, right? There's 3 things you can't talk about: sex, religion, and politics.
Really?
And I think the same rule of thumb goes towards thank you for the Fruit Loop, being really drunk, because emotions run high and people need to get their opinions across. I was crazy.
It's probably hard to refrain from talking about.
Exactly, because you don't have that guard up, you're willing to say whatever. Yeah.
I definitely didn't want to talk about it, and this individual wanted to talk about it.
And those
Kept
people are
pressing this
hard.
issue. There's 2 individuals that kept pressing the issue. Yeah.
We do a meatball challenge every year, sometime. I can't remember when. It's every
Thanksgiving.
summer, Thanksgiving, Christmas.
Started with Thanksgiving.
It's typically when we're all together for the most part. Hey, Elliot, come down that hill, sir. And it's kind of ironic because we have a lot of vegetarians in the family.
Ugh. I'm sorry, cousins. Your vegan meatballs are very caca.
There was one year, there were multiple vegan or vegetarian meatball substitutes entered into the challenge. And it was funny because there was one specifically that was chomping into...
It was tofu. It was made with tofu. Or not tofu,
Concrete.
just beans. And
it was
What? I
something
remember
else.
there being 2 one year.
Yeah,
And
David-
one tasted really good. And
David
another one
made
did
that
not
one.
taste as good.
Yeah, and we fed it to the dog, and the dog even...
it was like a
wouldn't eat
barbecue
it.
meatball, but it was bean meatball. It was awful.
Lentil and bean.
Sorry.
Let's talk about your meatballs, Rachel. I mean that.
Tom's and Rachel's meatballs are always pristine.
They are. I'm the freaking winner.
Well, let's hear about it.
And in
How
true
many times
Italian
have you won?
fashion,
5, 6, 6.
Wow.
6 out of 8 years.
Do you still have the
Yeah.
trophies?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's so funny because our Uncle Mike, who lives down in Springdale, he's what my Aunt Helen likes to call a hoarder, but a very organized one. Everything's labeled, everything has a proper place. You have your rows in the garage. That's his space.
Mm-hmm.
But he had an old karate trophy, and it was a 3rd place karate trophy too, not even a 1st place one, but a big tall one. And so that's why there's karate statues on it. They renamed the label. He got it.
Yeah.
He got it freaking label. And then they put a just one of those what is it? Laminated. It's just a laminated tag type sticker that he put over the 3rd, so it says
Oh, yeah.
1st.
On the trophy itself.
Yeah, Rachel's been carrying that around for...
That's pretty
I'm pretty
cool.
sure Dad has that.
Can you tell us why you're the champion. How you
Because my
become so
meatball
prolific.
is so good. I've got my dad to help.
What?
Is that cheating?
No, because we go in as two and we make 2 meatballs usually.
Oh, really?
So he usually makes the spicy one, and he makes the mild one. And I make the spicy one, but it's like the same ingredients except mine's spicy.
Do you like spicy foods?
Oh yeah.
I didn't realize.
I
that was
remember
spicy.
voting for that meatball a few times. The spicier one.
And then we just combined ours, and it was perfect.
Do you
Not
like
too
meatballs,
spicy.
Elliot?
Do you want to tell us the recipe?
No, because it's a secret.
I thought this was hard talks where we reveal
This is
hard
hard talks.
information.
And I am letting everyone know this is a hard no.
A hard no.
It's a good one.
So, it's kind of funny because when I initially started production of the show, I asked Rachel to be my co-host initially, and she said no. And so it's kind of fun for her to be on the show with me right now.
Yeah,
Why'd you say no, Rachel?
because you live in Ogden and I live in Salt Lake.
That is a little bit of a trek.
Uh-huh. And you're always off like every other Friday. I am not.
That's true. I do. But now that Sarah will be on maternity leave,
Maybe you have a guest host. Guest co-host.
I can record on Saturdays if you want to come join me every now and again.
Yeah, come down to the good old Salt Lake and Andy and I will be there.
No, this is a special
Maybe we'll just take over.
circumstance.
It looks like it can commute to Salt Lake.
Yeah.
These
Got
mics
the
are
road.
my old travel mics that I started the show with, and they're not as great of quality as my current ones.
Mommy, we go home.
Yeah, we're gonna go home tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Elliot's ready to record from home again.
I know. So it's a 6-hour drive back to Ogden,
And
like
it's
I
a
was
gnarly
saying.
drive.
And yeah, I
It's
think we're
just
gonna
so
leave early
boring.
in the morning.
I'll take the first shift, okay?
Yeah, on the way up here, right? There are these teenager assholes, like, ride my ass
In a Jeep.
right after we go through Boise.
Ah, fuck you guys.
And he kept flipping on
Up
his...
the canyon, huh?
Yeah, he kept flipping on his brights the whole time. And then he'd get in front of me and slow down. And then he'd piss me off to the point where I'd flip on my brights and ride his ass. And I was like,
Oh, God.
I'm going around you. And it was just like
At
that.
nighttime.
It was like that for a minute.
A dark canyon.
And after
And she was going fast.
all that time of driving... Well, they were going fast. Anyways, after all that time of driving, you know, I'm irritated. I'm grumpy. So...
How do you take off this suit?
Here. I'm just like kind of letting these guys get to me, and after a while I'm like, geez, Rachel, I don't want to be a part of some road rage like homicide, like, but they were pissing me off, and it just seemed like everybody who was driving up the canyon going the opposite way had their brights on too, and it's like nobody really cared. I'd even flashed my lights at a few people, and
Huh.
kind of like whatever. Blinding.
That's why it's ideal to get up here before 10.
Yeah, I mean...
It was like 11, 12 by the time we got here.
Gets dark really late out here because we're further west and north than Salt Lake. So for those listening at home who may be in Utah, I would say it gets dark about 45 minutes later.
Here in Idaho. Yeah.
It was like totally light at 9:15.
Yeah.
Sunset around.
But I mean,
9:30.
like, I guess that's true because driving here, it was light until past 9:30 a little bit.
Yeah, it is like 10.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was pretty. I thought it would be cool to bring the mics on the road and do this with you guys because you're some pretty kick-ass people.
I think sunsets
been
at
fun.
like, what, 10? No, 9:30, I think. Here?
So
Right now?
No, like, because it's already,
when the sun
already like
sets.
8 something.
that being said, like, being farther west and north, do you feel like it's been hotter up here?
It's been hotter, yeah.
It's it's been hot as shit.
Yeah.
So
I haven't had a thermostat or really my phone for that matter, but we've been out and in at least 100-degree weather for the past 3 days, and I tell you, the heat kind of melts your brain after a while.
oh yeah.
Thankfully, we have a river.
Yeah, I mean, been on the river a couple days in a row. A lot of work, but well worth it.
It was fun. Some class 3 rapids
Hell yeah.
on the Payette.
Yeah, I kayaked down
One
on
of the
a...
forks of the Payettes. We have no
Those
idea.
class 3s feel like freaking class 5s.
When you're in them, yeah. And when you're like looking at them,
They don't look
you're like,
that
oh
big.
no, I could do that.
And then once you're in them and getting freaking churned and flipped over and drowned, you're like, okay.
Yeah, I was in a big raft today with Elliot, opposed to being in a kayak ducky yesterday with my dad. And even still in that raft on the last
The last one.
rapid we hit, it was huge. Like, Elliot was asleep on my lap, and the wave that came into the boat was so big it completely soaked him, and he had his bucket hat over his face, so I like lifted off and it was like, suctioned to his face, and he's like screaming because
Good wake-up call
good wake up call.
before we take out.
Oh, and I know this is terrible, but I have to tell it because it was so funny. My goddamn father, bad grandpa left a water bottle unlabeled full of whiskey in the raft. And Elliot was thirsty.
No, it was vodka.
Oh yeah, what did I say?
Whiskey.
Oh, sorry. Definitely vodka because it was clear like water. It looked just like water. So Elliot, being thirsty, picks it up, takes a super big gulp, immediately, spits it out, starts sobbing. It's like, Mommy, what did it taste like, Elliot? Was it horrible?
It tastes like chocolate milk. Yuck.
Chocolate milk, yuck.
Ooh,
yucky.
Like gone rotten, huh?
Yeah, and poor boy, just was sobbing because he's like, that is yucky. And our family friend who was guiding us, he's sitting there and he's like, uh-oh, what was in there? And I pick it up, sniff it. I'm like, oh my god, it's vodka. Scream maybe 200 yards down the river or up the river to my dad, who's in a kayak with Andy right next to Rachel. I'm like, Dad, I found your lost fucking vodka.
Well, and then it got relayed from boat to boat.
Yeah.
Up the river.
Yeah, because we were in a big group.
I heard it from that one lady. It was
Andy?
Andy, yeah, same name. I heard her say something about vodka in a water bottle. I knew right away because I could hear Elliot screaming down the river. It's like, oh my god, Tom.
Oh my god, Tom. Yeah.
My dad was even like, oh hey, don't throw that away. I've been looking for that.
Yeah, he even talked about it earlier. He's like, I lost this bottle of vodka. Well, lo and behold, your 4-year-old found it. 4-year-old grandson found it. And, yeah. I mean, he hasn't had much of an opportunity to nap the last couple days because it's been so hot, 1, and 2, we've been so busy. But, man, after that shot of vodka, he was out on my lap on
Elliot.
the river. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Poor boy.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
So you got another mosquito bite on his cheeky cheek.
I know. So Elliot got a big spider bite on his
Oh yeah, didn't you find it
cheek
last
too.
night?
And I go to bed, super tired after watching Independence Day's beautiful fireworks, the masterpiece that it was. Exhausted, get to the tent, turn my flashlight on. First thing I see as it points up on the sidewall is a massive wolf-looking spider. And one of those really fast ones. And I'm literally in my tent like 5-year-old, like, Dad. No answer from Dad. Andy comes running up with his sandal. What do you need? There's a spider. Can you kill it? Here, take my damn shoe. I can't. He's gonna move. oh my God, Alicia, just do it. And I did, so be proud of me.
Oh, so you did kill it?
I did. I don't fucks with spiders.
I don't either. I couldn't even get a mosquito out of my freaking tent without freaking out.
Looking at the bite mark on Elliot's cheek, Nathan even was like, damn, that must have been a big spider. And after I found it, I was like, holy shit, it was.
Yeah.
Sucked his
Yeah.
blood.
Two-prong bite there.
Yeah. But this trip's been wild. Definitely.
It is an interesting town. I do love the glamping, so to speak.
Yeah, we've had a good stay with the
Showers
amenities.
too. There's showers. Like
There's a fridge. There's a freezer. So to what Andy was saying earlier, everywhere within like 100-mile radius is sold out of ice. Completely out of ice. Even in Boise.
Yes. But
So-
we planned ahead.
Yeah. What'd you do?
We bought ice and we put it in the freezer.
Even at a
We still have
restaurant. Even at a restaurant we went to today, they didn't have ice. They have to ration it.
It wasn't a cooler, and I made the quick decision to then transfer it to the freezer.
A wise guy.
Which was a game changer
Elliot, please don't do that.
for 4th of July 2021 here in Crouch, Idaho.
Yeah.
Elliot.
Well, technically, we're in Garden Valley. Crouch is up the road.
Crouch, yeah. And let us say, too, that don't speed.
Don't speed.
The law is enforced here in
It's not as
Idaho.
free as you would think, folks.
No.
They talk a big game.
Yeah.
But there's not as many freedoms as you would like.
Home of the famous potato is trying to make an example out of some people.
You can shoot your AK-47 all you want, but you can't go 10 miles per hour over the speed limit.
Yeah, and it's
Which
a
changes.
zero tolerance state. So if you have a medical card, don't be bringing your medicinals here.
Bunch of fakers in this
Do
state.
not.
They can
be
fire their
cited.
fireworks,
They
but
could-
they can't fire up their bowl, can
Yeah.
they?
Nope. No, they cannot. And you'll be cited and potentially arrested. We learned, didn't we? Anyway.
They're speeding.
Yeah. But it's a janky, like,
It goes from 50 to
25.
35 to 25 to 50 in the span of 3 miles.
yeah.
So
I had a
Just
bunch
trying
of
to get you.
my podcasting equipment in the car too, and I may or may not have gotten pulled over, and I'm trying to search high and low. Couldn't find anything because I wasn't carrying, but I had all these like trunks for podcasting equipment to bring up here, and they were like, "What is this? What's in there?" And I was like, "Can I please?
About to hit the mother
Can I,
load.
can I please handle this with care? It's expensive." So, I don't know. It was definitely a good cop, bad cop situation.
it was. One of the good cops was the canine that came out.
First time for everything.
Smelled the entire car.
It was a new experience for me. Glad you guys
At
could
the
be
end of
there
the
for
day,
me.
at the end of the day, you got cited for speeding, so you did very well for yourself.
But I've never been so stoked about a $90 ticket in my life. Straight up. It was scary. Thought it was the end of a good weekend. And so what did I do? The very next day I go to celebrate by drinking with the fam on the river in 100+ degree weather. Not eating very much. And
Or
let
drinking
me,
water.
or
for
not hydrating.
Exercising, yeah.
Yeah, let me tell you.
Jumping off rope swings.
Yeah, I was. And I fucked myself up pretty good. I did. Like, we did the same run today. And, you know, the rope swing is only like 15 minutes into your run. But we pulled out there first to do it. And I'm doing it, you know, we're having some beers, all of us kicking back. But I'm carrying a flask of whiskey. And it got to a point where it didn't really have much of a flavor anymore. I'm just drinking it like water. And with the heat and everything, that was the last thing I remember, the rope swing. Apparently, I passed out in the kayak, and Dad had to paddle me back
Dude, that was like in the beginning too. That was like not even halfway into our river
I know.
run.
Like, what I remember is waking up and becoming consciously aware at camp again. It was like, holy shit. And Dad's pissed at me. And it's just kind of like, I got pissed back as a defense mechanism. But later, you know, sobered up, I was like, yeah, I'd be pretty pissed at me too. It's been a weekend.
Survives.
Got some good footage of you throwing up.
Yeah, apparently I threw up in the river and was...
Not only did you throw up in the river, but you threw up in the river and then you freaking dove into the water right after. And just floated.
Hey.
That's
It's a big river.
probably a good thing.
Yeah.
Maybe I needed to drown my sorrows away. Maybe I was so
It
embarrassed.
didn't work.
Maybe I just was so
Like a
embarrassed.
splash of hot, cold water, right?
Mom, I have another airplane ride.
The airplane went home with Uncle Papa Dave.
See, it's gone.
But the airplane's pretty cool, huh? Tell me about it.
Well, it was beautiful when we went that way.
Yeah, tell me about it over here. What was your favorite part about being in the little airplane?
Going down?
You like landing?
No, going down.
Oh, like this? Woo!
Yeah.
When we dropped,
The roller coaster.
zero gravity.
Oh, wow.
Did you like seeing?
Zero gravity?
Did you like seeing all
I
the
didn't.
river?
Just a kid.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, Mommy.
That's
He was
okay.
showing off to Nathan.
Oh, so he went in the first ride.
I went both rides. We both did. Me and
Did
Elliot.
you lose gravity?
The first time, yeah.
Yeah,
We did a little dip, a little airborne activity.
Oh,
It was
nice.
fun. Pops is quite the pilot.
Yeah. I gave up flying in planes.
Why? Gives you anxiety.
Too life endangering.
You know, I was thinking about.
Too many bumpy rides next to mountain slopes.
It's probably. Yeah.
I'm kidding. I'd do it again.
I saw Uncle filling up a water bottle full of vodka.
He was
as well.
taking that home. He wasn't doing that before the plane. Because it's a holiday.
Yeah.
In Utah.
Yeah.
And they can't sell booze.
That's another thing about Utah, yeah.
And he brought a big bottle and we drank it all. So that was a safety bottle.
It was a safety bottle. But you
No, don't bring that up because the last time someone accused him of drinking before flying did not go well.
No, I don't doubt
With
that. Oh, I don't
Might
doubt
have to
that
cut
at all.
this part off the
I will.
show too. We were here, me, John Shilley, and outside the fire talking, and then was kind of joking about it. No, very straight faced. Stopped laughing. Said, "No, I've never done that." No. Oh, come on. What? Why are you even fucking here? Who invited you? How dare you tell me that? Oh, yeah. John Shilley and I look at each other like, oh shit. What are we doing here? Little sibling rivalry going, well, little quibble.
Quibble.
I feel like
So
if
don't-
fights with anyone, it's
I'll never forget that. She pretends like she didn't remember it the next day.
Oh, Mom, so lucky.
And I said, you don't remember that, do you? He's like, oh, I remember that. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Man.
Oh, bye.
So he takes that very seriously. As does your dad.
Oh,
He'll never drink and fly.
Pops is, like I said, a very good pilot. I think I've only flown with Uncle a couple of times.
Uncle is a good pilot, but he scares me.
Does he?
Yeah. We were going up to Aspen and he
Bad
was
Rick?
No, from Utah, and he was scaring the shit out of me and my dad. Even my dad was like, lay off.
You know, one of my favorite memories with Grandma Kay is she picked me up when we were going to a high tea at American, what is that hotel in Salt Lake?
Grand America.
Grand America. And we were going to meet other family, but, you know, I got dropped off. She was going to drive me there with her. And it had just snowed. It was December. So her car is completely covered with snow. And I'm like, Grandma, what can I do to help you? And she's like, nothing, just get into the car. And she makes a tiny little space out of her windshield to be able to see out of, right? I was like, oh, Grandma, let me clear the rest of that for you. She's like, oh, no, like, we're in a rush. Who needs that? I can see just fine. And, of course, she's got her orange lipstick on with a, what did she smoke? Not the Virginia Slims. They were those long cigarettes. Anyway, just hanging out of her lip as she's talking, and we're speeding down the mountain because she lives on the mountain. It's slippery. Slams on her brakes a couple times, and of course, all the snow from her roof comes piling down onto her windshield. I'm like, oh God, you know, Grandma, here, let me help you. And she's like, no, just stay in the car. So she's trying to move her windshield wipers, and they're just like, and like, all she does is open her window, make another tiny divot rather than getting out or letting me do it for her. And she drove all the way to Salt Lake like that. And I was like, oh my God, today is the day I'm going to die. I'm going to die with Grandma Kay. Yeah. So, yeah.
Runs in the family.
Runs in the family. She had so many car accidents on a regular basis. Like,
Doesn't Holly have that car now?
She sold it.
Oh.
She did have it.
but, you know, our grandma was also tough as nails, had grit like no other, and at 80-something years old, she got a flat tire not too long before she got sick and passed away, and she was out on the street trying to fucking change it on her way to Grady's birthday. And Grandpa David and my Grandma Sharon see her and, like, stop to help her because they're like, hey,
Really?
what the hell you get it? What are you doing? She's like, I'm just minding my own business, Dave, trying to change my tire.
That's funny. I didn't know that. That's a good story.
She was a great lady. Matriarch of this family.
Oh, yeah. Now it's Aunt Helen.
Yeah.
And Dave.
I don't know if they want those titles.
I
Well,
should call Aunt Helen.
I always love Aunt Helen. You know, one of my favorite things she said to me too, Helen, one year, she's like, you giving anything up for Lent, Alicia? I was like, no, Aunt Helen, like, I don't practice Catholicism, but, you know, if I could, maybe I'd like to give up this or that. And she's, well, I'm like, what are you giving up? She's like, oh, that's easy. I've been doing it for a while now. Sex, alcohol, and work. And I'm like, all right, Helen.
Nice.
I love it.
Is this taboo?
What happens when you get old? It's easy to give those
Or
up.
get fed up with people.
you just don't want to slam the woman anymore.
The woman.
Wow.
Or the man, I should say. Who knows?
Do you think
You
sex
guys don't
drive?
have to worry about getting old, you youngsters here.
You
Well,
think sex drive
for
really
the-
just depletes like that?
Well, yeah, come on. How many times do you think grandparents actually do it?
I'm sure a lot more frequently than you think. Viagra is there for a reason.
Okay, but the ladies, on the other hand, their sex drive is really low.
Think about great grandpa Lewis and great grandma Janet. Even in their last years, before grandpa was put into a home and Amanda lived there, she'd catch him asking grandma for some smoochy time. And it was so cute the way he used to look at her too, because she'd get carried away watching her daytime shows, you know, and she'd be there dancing, and he would just look at her like she was the whole world. It was great. So I don't know. I think maybe, yeah, physically it does deplete, like it should naturally, but I think it's all in a matter if you don't want to fight for that. If that makes sense. Like, there's things you can do. Women can get like hormone injections, or
It's old. That's what you're saying.
yeah, when you get old, and even
When
if
you
you
get
don't,
old, it gets old.
yeah. But I mean, like, I guess like you can still have sex drive. It just or sex life. It just might take a little more effort, right?
Why are you looking at Andy?
I'm looking at you.
Oh.
Rachel's 20. She don't know.
Well,
Dude. I don't know. The sex drive is up and down every week.
for you.
Yeah. 1 week I'll be freaking horny as shit. And then the 1 week I will be like, don't touch me.
Don't touch
God,
me.
I can't believe why your dad wouldn't want to be on this right now.
Why? I thought we've been very appropriate
We are very blunt.
for the.
That's
for the
true.
most part. Where do we get our bluntness, huh? Have you met you?
Not for me.
Or Dave. Or
Oh yeah,
the
have
whole
you met
family.
Dave?
Helen.
Maybe your mother. She's kind of blunt.
What the hell, Alicia? That's my
I
Dave
don't know.
impression.
My mom's not too
Fucking A,
blunt.
Alicia.
I mean, she's blunt when she gets pissed off. Yeah,
Our whole
but
family is blunt. Like people ask me, is like, man, like you're an unfiltered person. Like, you really put it all out there. It's like, yeah, I mean, like I really have no shame. It's one of my favorite things Dad used to tell me. Never take shame to your name. And I live by that in the sense that, so I'm proud to be who I am. Like, why not share my story with people? If,
I love it.
whatever.
I love the attitude.
But
the
I
approach.
think I get it from our family dynamic too, because
There's a lot of blunt people.
everybody, like, even if you haven't seen them for a year, like our aunts, for example, they somehow know everything that's going on in my life still.
Facebook.
Like, well, not
Because you broadcast it to the world. Literally.
I
Your
remember.
podcast.
literally.
I remember
but
that-
like two like things that I don't share that only Dad would know, right? Or Rachel would know.
There you go.
That like I'll tell Rachel something like I had to get a COVID test. This is an example on Tuesday. And she's asking me what time we're going to leave to come up here. And I was like, hey man, like, I don't know, like, how to get this COVID test. And not kidding you, Andy, like 20 minutes later, I get a phone call from Dad. And he's like, what? What's going on? You have to get a COVID test? I was like, holy crap. Well, literally, like, within the same hour, I get a text from my mom. And she's like, are you still dropping Elliot off tomorrow? Because you might have COVID. I'm like, oh my God. Like, Rachel, wait 5 seconds for me to figure this out before it gets broadcasted to the whole world.
I'm just worried, okay?
Exactly.
So that's what I mean. Like our family is
Word gets
very
around.
our family is very close knit in the sense that everybody cares. Everybody wants to know what's going on with each other.
And they're on Facebook.
And like Uncle Dave, he's not afraid to tell you what the fuck is up.
And he's not on Facebook.
And he's not on Facebook. And
He'll still tell you.
and sometimes, and again, like his way of showing love is with his honesty. Sometimes his bluntness is like,
Sometimes it's needed.
yeah.
Throw it down.
But sometimes his bluntness is like, damn, Dave.
Has Uncle Dave ever yelled at you, Andy?
Like, seriously?
Not yelled, no.
Not seriously.
He's not. I mean,
I feel
I
like
don't know.
he's very
I feel like Dave is how
chill
Dave is.
with the kids.
Like,
with these kids.
when he's upset, he's exactly that way.
Because they were the perfect children, those two.
I can see that. Those two are.
Hey, I'm the black sheep of my family.
In the children department, let me tell you that. All right.
Oh,
Not trying to toot my own horn.
He's lucky that you got through all of your shenanigans before
And he didn't have to deal with it.
yeah.
You got lucky a lot of times. Yeah.
Oh. But I can only imagine growing up in Chicago, I'd find some shit to do or shit to get into
It was fun.
too.
It was a good time.
Where'd you
Close
meet
to Wrigley
Brooke?
Field. Huh?
Where'd you meet Brooke?
In Salt Lake City, Utah.
What brought you to
I
Utah?
was working at Fleming's Steakhouse. She was working at California Pizza Kitchen.
Ooh.
at the Gateway.
You're like, damn, she's hot.
Well, my boss was married to her boss, the managers of the respective restaurants.
Andy,
Yeah.
where you at?
Huh?
I said, where you at?
Lives in Salt Lake.
I live in Salt Lake City.
But where you at, though? But where you go? But where you go?
Where did I grow up?
No.
Where did I go? I don't. Salt Lake. Holiday, actually.
Was it love at first sight with Brooke?
I did see it. I was like, yeah.
Andy,
Yeah.
where you at?
In Holiday.
But
In a house.
what date you live in?
In Utah.
Utah. Same as you.
So you saw her and you were like,
Hey,
She's
girl,
not
hey. Hey, girl.
Hey, girl.
How's it going?
Hey, she's wearing an Oakland A's t-shirt.
Right on.
It's hot.
Yeah. So what was your pickup line? How'd you introduce yourself?
I don't remember that stuff.
Hey, girl,
Yeah.
can I buy you a beer?
So then we went on a couple dates, and then we didn't see each other for 6 months.
dang.
Damn.
And I was back in Chicago, with some friends from Salt Lake, going to a couple Cubs games, hanging out in the city. And I called her after a Cubs game, just out of the blue, and she answered, and she was at a wedding. And kind of sparked up a conversation. We hadn't talked in, maybe it wasn't 6 months, maybe it was like 3 months. And we said, well, when I get back in town, you want to go out? And she said yes. And
The rest is history.
The rest is history.
Nice. Oh, man. Isn't it weird how you meet
She used to
people?
sneak into my apartment on 200 North above Temple Square through the window.
Oh, my God.
Why
Why'd
could
you
you
have
not-
to
I'd be
sneak?
sleeping. I don't know, maybe the front door wasn't open. I think I was passed out that one time. I was like, oh, hey.
Poor Brookie's throwing rocks up at your window.
Wow.
You're just passed
She's
out.
boomboxing it for you. Andy! Andy! Throw down your hair!
Those were the days. If she ever listens to this, sorry, honey, for
What do you mean?
revealing her secrets.
Oh, for being a hopeless romantic?
She was
I'm just kidding.
she's so fun.
Yeah, and you want to talk blunt people. I love Brooke. All right, so
She should be on the podcast.
our whole family, to sum it up, we're just blunt people. So,
Yeah.
sorry, fam. I guess I can't help it. Now you know a little why I am the way I am.
Indeed. All right, Alicia, how we doing on time?
We're good. Anything else you want to say about this trip?
I want to make a fire.
Yeah.
The mosquitoes are starting to come out.
Yeah, and I want some marshmallows and
How are you gonna cook those marshmallows?
you get a stick.
There's one there.
Yeah, good luck. Well, guys, I appreciate you being on and bullshitting with me.
It was hard.
It was hard dogs. Hard dogs.
Hence the,
I was
It was
so
hard.
tired.
No. It was good. Cleansing, right?
Yeah.
That was good. Anytime.
Anytime.
I'll be back.
No. She'll be back to us.
That's true.
No,
Like,
not if
take
you want to
over
be
this
on back
podcast.
on the podcast. You got to come to me. And
But let me tell the
you'll get to-
listeners, there's a lot of work that Alicia puts into this, and I don't think I'd be willing to do that. So,
I know I was stressing because I was late posting this last episode, and I even had a few of you email in asking where your weekly dose of hard talks was. So I apologize. I had spotty service, and
yeah.
it's hard multitasking when you're in a beautiful setting with your fam and
Making sure your son doesn't drown in the river next to
Yep,
us.
that too. That
Or
too.
get into any vodka. Or...
Oh my god, yeah.
I like vodka.
Yeah, we don't like
You don't
it.
like
It's
that.
horrible.
Hell no.
But Andy did get him addicted to fucking Fanta Orange. Elliot's never had soda in his life. And
That is a cute story.
he was his boat buddy yesterday.
Yep.
Because I was on the kayak and I guess what's his bucket had Fanta on there. And I get off the boat and all Elliot can talk about is orange. What's it called?
Orange soda.
Orange soda.
Well, and so while he had it,
He was also hiding it from
he was like so concerned that you were going to see it. And Rachel. He didn't want Rachel to see it
oh,
either.
really?
And I was like, don't worry, your mom's not going to remember seeing this. Buddy. You're good. But he told me, he's like, I've never had a soda before. And I could not believe it. And how did you describe it? Do you remember? You said it was spicy, but yummy.
From the carbonation.
Spicy.
And then he came up to me last night with an empty can. Mm-hmm. Probably the same one. And said, Andy, can I have another one of these? Is there another? And there wasn't another one, unfortunately.
Yeah,
But-
we were on the river today, and Nathan had another one.
Oh.
And Elliot ran up and tried to rip it off the boat. And I was like, dude, you can't take things that don't belong to you. And he's like, but I really want the orange soda. And I'm like, oh my God.
Kid's going to be an orange soda fan for life.
Fiend.
I want that.
Yeah, we don't have any more. But all that being said,
Maybe
Okay.
on the ride home, that'll be a nice
yeah,
little treat.
I'll get you a treat if you're a good boy tomorrow. Pack it up. But all that being said, fam, we hope you enjoyed this episode of Hard Talks on the Road. Maybe Andy will be back on in the future. We'll bullshit about. We'll get Hard Talks pops on. That's
Maybe
a goal
even
of
Brooke.
mine.
Brooke
Yes.
and your dad, well, so the day before we left for this trip, he came over and he was up. I mean, he dropped me off from Dave's house and he was over at our house till like 1 a.m. And I passed out on the stairs. So like, oh my gosh, I'm so tired. I fell asleep on our back stoop. And he and Brooke were still talking until...
That sounds like the perfect place to sleep, though, doesn't it?
On your stairs.
I
was
fell
nice.
asleep on my stoop. Yeah. No, so yeah, we'll definitely talk about it with Sarah being gone. Think of something that you're passionate about, not politics. I mean, we can if we really want to, but I am Switzerland. Neutral.
Nice.
Neutral. Anyways, if you want to give us a follow on Instagram and Facebook, you can follow us on Hard Talks with BNH and on Twitter at Hard Talks with B1. If you want to email into the show, tell me how epic your 4th of July was. Tell me where you're at. Tell me what you did. Tell me something crazy, because I could go on with the crazy portion of this weekend. I just can't. Anyway, we'll be back next week
We
for...
made her keep it.
Yeah,
Mama, do that.
We kept the bluntness to a minimum.
literally.
I
Sarah
don't
will be...
partake when we're in Idaho.
No, never in Idaho.
Only where it's legal.
No, never in Idaho, guys. Be safe, be smart. If you want to tap into Apple Pod, leave us a 5-star rating and a written review. That's huge, huge, huge. You have no idea how much that helps us on the business end of things. And we are still in the works of making Hard Talks merch. So let me know if you're looking to buy some Hard Talks merch. It's
Give me
awesome.
that back.
Rachel, I love you. You're awesome.
I love you.
Andy, I love you. You're awesome.
Love
Elliot,
you.
you're awesome. Fam, you're awesome. Thanks for listening this far. I hope you have a great rest of your week. Be kind. Love yourself. Don't do anything we wouldn't do.
Love America.
America. Bye.
Bye.
Glad you bye. Hard talk,
Yeah.